What's up, you guys? What's up? I told you guys that I would come back and hit you with a story time about the time that I dated a woman for 2 years. And I said, if you wanted to hear it, then somebody leave it in the comments. Well, somebody left it in the comments, and they wanted to know about the time that I dated a woman for 2 years. Okay, well, I ain't even gonna say 2 years, it was a year and a half, I would say. All right, so let me start by saying thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Thank you guys for watching my videos. I appreciate it. Thank you. You are my supporters, and that's what I love. So let's get started. Okay, this is around 2013. Okay, so at this time, I was driving for the city that I lived in. I was a city bus driver. Had been at that time maybe about 10 years. So this particular person got on my bus one morning, and now I could clearly see that she dressed like a dude. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted, at the time, I wasn't attracted to her or nothing. It was more me just, talking to her. And, most of the time as a city bus driver, you get people to get on the bus to be like, what y'all do? I want to do what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? I want to drive the bus. How do you do it? Where do you go? Where do you put the application in? And most of the time they just blowing smoke up your ass because they don't even have a license. You know what I'm saying? Not saying they can't, but I haven't seen nobody do it, right? So this was her whole spiel. When I picked her up the first time, she was like, I picked her up at a stop that was probably maybe about a mile and a half from the station. So we got to rapping or whatever, and she had like 2 suitcases with her. And the terminal that I worked out of, the Greyhound came out of that terminal as well. And so, we got to chopping it. She stood right up there by the pole, was talking to me and whatever. And she was saying, I'm gonna come work with y'all. In my mind, I was like, oh, for real? Okay. She said, yeah, I just got some things. I have to go back home. And home was like Chicago, somewhere she was going, Cleveland. I don't know where she was. I don't remember, but, I have to go back home, because my mom is sick right now. She said, but, I'm gonna come work with y'all. I was like, you got a license? You know what I mean? That's my first thing. She don't even got a car. She on the bus. Not knocking nobody. I'm just saying, this is something I've heard over the years. So she said, no, she said, I don't have a car. She said, but I do have a CDL, and I have this endorsement and hazmat and this and that. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, right, sure. Okay, cool, whatever. And so that was the end of that conversation. Boom. And so I didn't think nothing else about it, right? So I say about maybe a month or 2 months later, maybe 3, I'm working, doing my thing, driving that big mug like I do, doing what I do. And I come into the terminal, and lo and behold, who do I see coming out the terminal, walking across the terminal parking lot with the same uniform that I have on? This chick, right? So she sees me, and she's like, hey, what's up? She said, I'm about to come out of training. She said, I need to learn, because before you come out of training, you got to know every route. You got to know every route, because you don't need to go out there and get lost. If you don't know where you're going, you can't drive. You got to, but people be asking me like, how do you remember all the routes? How do you remember all the routes in your head? Well, first of all, the city that I'm from, it's my city. So, it's my city, so I remember, like different little landmarks. That's how I remember stuff. Some people remember the route, but I remember landmarks. So it was easy for me. It might have been a little sketchy, at first for a couple of them, but most of the time, that was cool. Anyway, long story short, she said, I'm coming out of training, but what I learned was her tactic. So I was doing this particular route, and it was simple. It was so simple. It was a simple route, but she was like, I need to learn this route, so I'm going to ride with you. I'm like, okay. So I had like 2 hours before I got off. So she rode with me, and the first trip she rode with me, we was talking, we was kicking, we was doing whatever. And she was like, okay. And so the second trip, I was like, you got it yet? You know what I'm saying? You good? She was like, I need to get a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? I need to ride another round, whatever. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, whatever. So she rode the next round and whatever. And then when I got off, I went to break, and we chopped it up. We was cool. All right. We started being cool. Like, she was like, do you want to go out and get some drinks and shit like that? And in my mind, I'm like, go out. I'm not picking up nobody. I'm not coming to pick you up. I'm not doing it. I might meet you there. She said, you ain't got to pick me up. I got a car. I said, oh, okay. So again, that was my first time knowing anybody that has literally bossed up and got their shit together, got off the bus, got them a car, really was about what the hell they say they was about, right? All right, cool. So I was like, cool. So we went out a couple of times. We got some drinks. We hung out. And it was a good vibe. It was a good vibe. Now, mind you, in 2013, 2014, I was on my single shit. Like, I just was content in life where I was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a couple of dudes that I could call and hang out with and be cool with. You know what I'm saying? Just chill. If I need to go out, if I laugh, chill, hang out, that was cool. Yeah, I had me a little sneaky link if I needed to. Like, I wasn't looking for nothing. I definitely wasn't looking for no woman, right? And so we went out, we hung out. So the more we went out, you know what I'm saying? I could tell she was just like feeling me or whatever. And I was, in my mind, I was like, well, shit, this is a tree that I have not climbed yet. You know what I'm saying? And I've always heard, women might licky better than men. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say I wasn't curious, because I'm always one of those people that if you're curious about something, you have to try it once to see if you like it. Not everything, but so we get to kicking it. So, she lets me know that she feeling me, whatever. So let me tell you how the forces forced us together. In my mind, I want some old, like, trying to be with a female. I'm gay. No, it was more like, I want to know if she can lick better than my best liquor as a man, the man type, right? So that was my whole thing. So, but her whole thing was, she was trying to be in a relationship. My whole thing was, I'm not. I ain't even gonna lie. I was just playing. It wasn't nothing that serious to me. But that's why I say growth. Growth is very, 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 very important, because I realized then that it wasn't cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that shit now. But back then, I didn't get too fucks. I really didn't care, because I was comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get together. We're going to hang out a couple of times. I might see what she working with. And then that's it, right? So, what happened was we went to breakfast. I was supposed to go with the breakfast with her. My shift started at 5, and I got off at, like, I would say 10 o'clock in the morning. So she said, well, you want to go to breakfast? I said, yeah, I'll go to breakfast. So what happened was I got off and I tried to leave. And I did leave. And I was on my way home, and she called me, and I was like, I wanted to go home and get back in my bed. But she called me, and she caught me before. Now, this day right here, I will never forget. And it ain't got shit to do with her. But this day right here, I will never forget. So I chose to go meet her for breakfast instead of take my black ass home. And I should have took my black ass home. Always go with your first instinct. I should have took my black ass home. But no, I went to breakfast, and me and her wound up staying out for a while. So we met up around 10. We stayed out to about 3 or 4 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that we was like going to different, where we ate breakfast was a place where you could just walk and see different shops and shit, and we were just chilling. We walked, the wall was a wall that we walked, just talking, just get to know each other. Cool. I got home. Well, I left her. We said our goodbyes, and I went home. Y'all, when I got to my fucking house, you would never believe what the hell had happened.